Attorney's Office to assist in his private business. We thus found ourselves asking, why would the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania attempt to make such a stretch of federal law? With that background, we came to learn, in part from your committee's investigation as well as from various news accounts, that the Department of Justice, in its evaluation of its prosecutors in certain cases, fired U.S. attorneys, not for performance-based reasons, but for political ones. We came to learn that those United States attorneys who, among other things, aggressively pursued Democrats, as opposed to those who did not, remained in place or were promoted. In fact, we learned from the study conducted by Messrs. Shield and Cragen that this administration is 7 times more likely to prosecute Democrats than Republicans. Possessed of that information, the prosecution of Dr. Cyril Wecht takes on a different and troubling light. Dr. Wecht is a prominent and highly visible Democrat in the predominantly Democratic region of the Western District of Pennsylvania. He is known nationally and internationally as one of the world's leading forensic pathologists. He often speaks and is retained to conduct autopsies in some of the country's highest profile cases. In addition to Dr. Wecht's renown in the area of forensic pathology, he has always been a contentious, outspoken, highly critical, and highly visible Democratic figure in Western Pennsylvania. In other words, he would qualify as an ideal target for a Republican U.S. attorney trying to curry favor with the department, which demonstrated that if you play by its rules, you will advance. Ms. Buchanan must have observed this phenomenon firsthand during her service as the director of the Executive Office of U.S. Attorneys. Dr. Wecht's case, although high profile, was not the only apparent political prosecution in Western Pennsylvania. In addition to Dr. Wecht, U.S. Attorney Buchanan conducted highly visible grand jury investigations of the former Democratic mayor of Pittsburgh, Tom Murphy, and Peter DeFazio, the former Democratic sheriff of Allegheny County, in which Pittsburgh is situated. She also prosecuted some lesser-known Democratic Party members in the sheriff's office. It should be noted that of these 3 high-profile, very public Democratic prosecutions, one resulted in a misdemeanor macing plea, one resulted in no plea and an alternative resolution, and Dr. Wecht's case remains pending. All 3 Democrats were front-page stories during the run-up to the 2006 elections. During this same period, not one Republican officeholder was investigated and or prosecuted by Ms. Buchanan's office. Not one. Although a whistleblower in Republican Congressman Tim Murphy's office accused the congressman of using paid staff members in his election campaign, no investigation was conducted that we are aware of, despite a local outcry that former Republican Senator Rick Santorum was defrauding a local community by claiming residency when he actually resided in Virginia for purposes of having the school district pay for his children's cyber schooling. We are aware of no investigation being conducted. I cannot and do not opine on the merits of either case, but the fact that no investigation was undertaken stands out when Democrats in the Western District of Pennsylvania have been investigated and indicted in such a highly visible manner. This stands in stark...
Chairman, point of order.
The gentleman, Mr. Thornburgh, could you summarize quickly the rest of your testimony?
I'm about through, Mr. Chairman. Will do my best. We have set forth in our written statement, to which I refer once more, concerns we have about the conduct of the case agent, FBI agent in this case, and I will refer you to that. One might argue that Dr. Wecht is entitled to a day in court, and he will have that day. But the public's perception of apparent politics at the Department of Justice will not easily be changed or remedied, no matter the outcome of his trial. Sally Calson, a veteran columnist for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, wrote in her column of July 22, 2007, and I quote, "An ambitious and enthusiastic Bush partisan like U.S. Attorney Mary Beth Buchanan might well consider Dr. Wecht a plum target, good for many brownie points at the White House." She further wrote, and I quote again, "The jury has yet to convene on Dr. Wecht, but the verdict on the Bush administration is loud and clear, 100% political." This is the unfortunate manner in which the Department of Justice is viewed in the Western District of Pennsylvania. We should not allow any citizen of the United States to proceed to trial knowing that his prosecution may have been undertaken for political reasons as opposed to being done to serve the interest of justice. Sadly, that appears to have been so in the case against Dr. Wecht. And I thank you for the extended opportunity to hear.